Well, there were plenty of fireworks on the stage last night, but when the verbal fists stopped flying and the candidates got to talk policy, did their messages actually resonate with the voters? Pollster Michael Maslansky of Maslansky & Partner put them to the dial test. We always love these. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to be here.
Let's start with Rubio. Rubio's saying 2/3 of the folks don't want Trump to be the nominee. Let's listen to this, and then I'm going to get your grade.
2/3 of the people who have cast a vote in a Republican primary or caucus have voted against you. They do not want you to be our nominee. And the reason why is because we are not going to turn over the conservative movement or the party of Lincoln or Reagan, for example, to someone whose positions are not conservative, to someone who last week defended Planned Parenthood for 30 seconds on a debate stage, to someone, for example, that has no ideas on foreign, someone who thinks the nuclear triad is a rock band from the 1980s, to someone who time and again on issue after issue has not proven that he has the principles that outline what the conservative movement has been about, and as Ted said, the things that made America great.
Interesting. It was pretty flat there. What'd you think? What was the grade you gave it?
He gets a C+ there because of all the attacks that you could make on Donald Trump. You have to find the ones that really resonate. And the reality is that this is not a debate. This is not an election about being a conservative or not being a conservative. This is an election about being a disruptor. And so anything that tries to challenge Trump on not being a conservative, we've seen over and over again. He can come out in favor of Planned Parenthood. He can do take all these other positions that aren't conservative. It doesn't hurt him.
It doesn't.
So attacking him in this way doesn't have an impact.
All right, let's look at a soundbite from Trump. Trump talking about how you have to be flexible as a candidate. Take a listen.
Megan, I have a very strong call. I have a very strong call. But I've never seen a successful person who wasn't flexible, who didn't have a certain degree of flexibility. You have to have a certain degree of flexibility.
Relatable. A lot of people can relate to that. What was your grade?
Yes, so it's a B-.
Why?
It's not great, but what's really interesting about this is that if any other Republican used this line, it would be a D or an F. And this is important about Trump. He's able to take this vulnerability for most Republicans, which is about compromise, and turn it into a strength. He owns his weaknesses and he turns them into strengths, and that is what's really powerful about Trump's communication.
In your profession, can you believe this election?
I cannot believe it, but always astounded as to how he can reframe a conversation.
It's fascinating to see, to see your perspective and how these dials work. Thanks so much, Michael, for being with us this morning.